That's pretty fun.
Charlamagne the devil?
Possible. The Breakfast Club.
Yes, Donkey today for Thursday, April 21st goes to Blac Chyna. Now, this isn't about Blac Chyna as much as it is about double standards. Now, if you haven't heard, Blac Chyna is suing the Kardashian Jenners for $40 million for loss of earnings and more than $60 million in future earnings. She claims they used their power to tarnish her reputation and prevent financial opportunities. Well, the Kardashians are rebutting Blac Chyna's claims that they used their influence to cancel her and Rob's show on E! Instead, they are arguing that they were trying to protect Rob from an abusive relationship. I don't know what's true and what's not true. Okay, that's why they have court cases, so both sides can be heard, all evidence presented, and from that, the court decides the fate of the case. I personally wasn't paying this case any attention until yesterday, when I read something on page 6 of the New York Post that got my attention, and the headline reads, Blac Chyna claims she was just joking when she put gun to Rob Kardashian's head. Hey, you got me with that headline. Okay, now I have to take time out of my day to see what this is all about, okay? And this is what I read. According to the New York Post, during her court appearance in L.A. yesterday, Blac Chyna was asked about the abuse allegations that were originally made by her ex-fiancé Rob Kardashian in April 2020. Now, what are those allegations? I had to go back and look these up, too, because I simply never saw this. But Rob Kardashian claimed in a court filing back in 2020 that Blac Chyna pointed a gun at him multiple times on December 14, 2016. He also alleges that on the same night of the gun being pointed at him, he claimed Blac Chyna attempted to choke him with an iPhone cord. Well, that brings us all back to yesterday when Blac Chyna was asked about those allegations during her court appearance. Well, what did she say? Let's go to ABC 7 Eyewitness News for a report, please.
So much of this case seems to hinge on 2 days in mid-December 2016. They just found out they were renewed for a second season. She claims late that night that they were messing around with each other. At some point, she wanted him to pay attention to her, so she pulled an iPhone charging cord around his neck while he was playing video games. She also admits to holding a gun that she says was left on the nightstand in their bedroom every day as a way to kind of normalize it. And she says that she was showing it off while on FaceTime with his friends. She testified it wasn't loaded, and again, that was all part of them messing around and for fun. It escalated throughout the night when Chyna says Rob was accusing her of cheating and ended with them having to be separated the next day. That paraphrased timeline is important because the defense is trying to convince the jury that the reason why Rob and Chyna's second season was canceled was not over defamation. It's because they didn't want any of that kind of behavior on their show.
Blac Chyna accused of putting a gun to Rob Kardashian's head and strangling him with an iPhone cord, and the response is she was joking. It was just in fun. Did I hear that right? Excuse me, say what? Play that again, please, that one clip.
They were messing around with each other. At some point, she wanted him to pay attention to her, so she pulled an iPhone charging cord around his neck while he was playing video games. She also admits to holding a gun that she says was left on the nightstand in their bedroom every day as a way to kind of normalize it. And she says that she was showing it off while on FaceTime with his friends. She testified it wasn't loaded, and again, that was all part of them messing around and for fun.
Blac Chyna, fire your attorneys. Fire your lawyer. If the Kardashians are alleging that they were trying to protect Rob from an abusive relationship, and your response to allegations of abuse is that you were joking and just having fun, and your lawyers thought that was okay for you to say, then I need you to know that your lawyers suck. Okay, you are dealing with the family of Robert Kardashian, who people say was one of the best criminal attorneys to ever exist. He was one of the attorneys who helped OJ win his case. You are suing these people for $100 million. Okay, it's big money at stake here. You knew, that Rob made these allegations 2 years ago. 2 years ago, your lawyer tried this excuse and said Rob also admitted that he never feared for his life and actually thought it was funny. Okay, when Chyna teased him while holding Rob's unloaded gun, to which Rob Kardashian replied, I did not think that Chyna's threats and physical attacks were funny or a joke, and of course I never consented to her violently attacking me or threatening to harm me. He said I believed that she could kill me intentionally or because she was in such a drunken high state that she could slip up and shoot me accidentally. He said this 2 years ago, okay, 2 years ago, and yesterday in court, the best you can come up with is we were just having fun, we were joking, you stuck to that? Once again, I don't know what's true or what's not true. I just know that I, with the common sense and discernment God has given me, know that replying with, I was just joking, to these types of allegations is probably a surefire way to lose the case. But as I said at the beginning of this, I want to discuss double standards for a second, and double standards are why we can't truly progress as a society, because nobody is consistent. Okay, in this case, a woman has said something that a man would be crucified for. Imagine any man taking the stand after being accused of putting a gun to a woman's head and being accused of strangling a woman with a phone cord and replying to those allegations by simply saying, I was joking. Okay? Forget the court of law for a second. The court of public opinion would convict him and want him executed by firing squad the same exact day. This is why a lot of people really don't understand right from wrong anymore, because we are a society that rewards bad behavior, and we have selective morals and very, very, very flexible principles, okay? Abuse is wrong across the board, no matter who is doing the abusing. But I can't tell because there is selective outrage always based on who is the accused individual. Okay, all of this insincere moralizing people do about certain issues, the lack of consistency in regard to what people get upset about. Folks will write think pieces with not much thought put into them about how problematic a TV show is or a movie or a song, but where are the think pieces on us not being consistent as a society in regard to double standards like this? Once again, imagine for 1 second, a man being accused of putting a gun to a woman's head and then strangling her with an iPhone cord, and his response to that being, I was just joking. I was just having fun. Joking would trend. Fun would trend. You would see all of these tweets about how the Rob Kardashian Blac Chyna case shows how anti-women men really are. I guarantee protect black women would trend because it would be a few 100,000 men don't protect black women tweets. I'm a stern believer that if you want to be taken serious, be consistent, because a lack of consistency brings on a lack of interest. And I believe the reason people don't really have interest in a woman saying she's joking in regard to being accused of pointing a gun at a man and strangling him is because of the lack of consistency we have as a society when it comes to who we decide to get backlash to and outrage to. Because it shouldn't be about the who, it should be about the what, okay? That's why it shouldn't be backlash towards individuals, it should be backlash towards ideologies. But we live in an era where we are more concerned about who did it as opposed to what they did, and that's why women really be saying things that men would lose their whole livelihood for, and nobody seems to care. Please give Blac Chyna the biggest hee-haw.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.